Okay, next here we're going to talk about persistence artifacts, registry-based, and starting with AppInit DLLs. So dynamic link libraries are the DLLs, and they're specified in the AppInit DLLs value, are loaded by user32 DLL into every process that loads user32 DLL, which is nearly almost every Windows process. Uh, so we're starting with this because these values can often be abused to obtain persistence and privilege escalation, uh, causing malicious DLLs to be loaded in place of normal running processes on a computer. Now, the first thing you'll probably notice on this slide is the T1103 in parentheses. What this is actually an attack number based on the MITRE attack framework. So if we browse to attack.mitre.org and take a look at one of these T values, you can see the one we're looking at here is T1546. Now it's a privilege escalation and persistence. So on this website, it'll actually show you more information about this specific type of attack, the mitigations, how to detect it, as well as other references for you to look at. So this is a really good website for you to know, for you to reference, read the blog, and so on. Another persistence artifact that we can look at are logon scripts. The attack MITRE framework number reference there is T1037. So these can be batch scripts, Visual Basic scripts, J scripts, and these are what is executed during user login to a specific Windows account. So you can imagine how this would be very good information for an incident investigation. And the next one we've already mentioned, it's the startup. You can see that it has two different numbers, and one is specifically for a Mac. This is what's going to be executed during a Windows startup. Okay, moving into the T1042, which is a change default application association. So what this is it binds an arbitrary program to open a specific type of file. As an example, say instead of Microsoft opening a docx file, you change it to something else. Attackers will utilize this to bind a malicious program to that program in order to perform, whatever malicious intent that they have. Next up is services. This is probably one of the most commonly used tricks for persistence by attackers. So if malware is loaded as a service, it will automatically be started by Windows at every startup. So in an instant investigation, one of the things that you can typically do is filter the services by the date of installation. So if you see a new service recently installed, those should probably be one of the first things that you're looking at if you believe that the malicious content may have something to do with the service. And finally, we have scheduled task at a T1053. So we all know that Windows allows you to schedule a task, whether that task can be ran immediately, whether that task should be ran, say, in the middle of the night or the next day or a couple weeks from now. It really doesn't matter. Tasks can be scheduled, and this is often taken advantage of by attackers. So that way, thing that they're wanting to happen doesn't actually take place until later on. So it's kind of hard to associate that malicious content to when the attacker was on the box unless the scheduled task is found. So it's important to note that these tasks can be scheduled even remotely.